This is my sister Holly, and I'm going to be installing some security cameras along with a video doorbell to help her keep an eye on the comings and goings and to make sure that the peanut butter bandit doesn't strike again. I'll be using cameras from the Google Nest lineup, and you can get those at the Home Depot, who is the sponsor of today's video. I'm going to show you how to do a full install on each of these, as well as all the details about them so that you can make the right choice for your setup. But right now, let's go ahead and get started at the front door. All right, we're at the front door. A little bit windy out here, so I apologize if there's any noise, but here's the doorbell that we have right now, which is just a standard one. It is lit up, and it's just two wires that are connecting in here. So to take this off is super simple. I'm just going to take a couple of these screws out right here, and then there'll be a couple screws on the back to undo, and then that'll give us the leads for the power for the doorbell. But to get the Nest doorbell set up, we're going to start inside where we can hook it up to the Wi-Fi and start getting things set up. All right, we've got the Nest doorbell, and this is the battery version. So there are two versions. We do have power. We'll be using these two wires that we just uninstalled from the old one. But it's also got an internal battery, so you can put that in a location that does not have power to it already. And when the battery runs down, you can take that off, bring it in and charge it, and then put it back. So it's great for any location where you want to monitor the doorbell and see who's coming and going. I pulled out the quick start guide and the included power cable. We're going to go ahead and get this hooked up and start syncing it in the Google Home app. Go ahead and set up a new device. All right, so I'm going to add Holly's house here. Now we can scan the QR code on the quick setup guide, and it loads right up and finds it. So they make the connection really easy, and it just walks you through the process on the phone. I can connect it to the local Wi-Fi here and set up a Nest network so that everything can talk to each other as we put in the different devices. We've got it all set up now, and actually it's got a live feed on my phone, so you can put it in the location and make sure it's the view that you want before you do the install. So let's go ahead and go outside and do that. If you want a different view of the front door, you can use this angled wedge behind the mounting plate to angle the camera inwards. But our view looks good here, so I can go ahead and attach the mounting bracket by pre-drilling two holes and then securing the bracket to the door frame with the included screws. Now I can undo the screws on the back and connect them to the wires. If you don't have terminals on there already, they do have little extensions on there that you can hook up to your doorbell wire if it's just a straight bare wire. And after I get these connected, we can just lock it straight on place right on the bracket. When you install in place, you will hear a little click and you'll know that it's nice and firm and that's not going to go anywhere. But they do have a little tool, so if you need to pull it off, especially if you're using it for just the battery install and you need to charge it, you can put that right in the top and then pull up and it comes right off. I'm going to go turn the power back on and then we'll see how it looks on the app. I tell you what, I'm impressed by the quality of the camera in that full sun, having that bright shining light coming in, and you can still make out everything in the picture, even when the person at the door had their back to the sun. Now, the doorbell does have intelligent alerts, so it will actually alert you when a person is seen in the footage, even if they don't ring the doorbell. It can also distinguish between pets, cars, and even when people are leaving packages, which is a pretty cool feature. So now my sister will be able to check who's at the door anytime, 24/7, and keep away from unsavory characters.
Hey, I'd like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
And using the Google Home app, you can get 3 hours of free replay. Of course, you can get more than that if you do the subscriptions, and we'll talk all about that as we get more of the cameras installed. So here's the final doorbell cam install and a look at some of the nighttime video coming off of the camera. Now we've got the front door covered, but my sister does have a front entry driveway and she doesn't have line of sight to some of this just because of the angles of the house. So for this area, I'm going to be using the Nest Cam with floodlight, and I'm going to put it right up here where this current light is. It is hardwired, so you need to go straight into an electrical junction box, and if you don't have one, you can get an electrician to install that for you. All right, we got this one down. Let's go back inside. So let's see what's in the box. This is pretty simple setup. You have the base unit, which is going to get wired into the electrical connections. And this has your motion sensor as well as the power that's going to connect it and the two LED lights. And then we have the camera, which connects by magnet. I love this feature. It just magnetically connects on, and the power comes in underneath, which you can then lock in so that it can't be tampered with. These LEDs are going to be great for shining some bright light out in the driveway, and this has custom alert features, so it'll alert her for people, animals, vehicles, and she can turn those on or off. And it does come with a mounting kit as well as all the hardware that she'll need to get it installed. To start the installation process, I just need to go into the Google Home app and add another device. So we're going to set up a device and go ahead and scan the QR codes, and it'll walk me through the process and again give me a great video on exactly how the installation should go, and then we can get everything set up in the app. So let's go ahead and head outside and we'll start putting it up. I'm going to start off by taking off the bracket that's on here and putting on the bracket that came with the Nest camera. You start off by putting the included ground wire onto the back of the plate and hooking that up with a wire nut into the ground wire in the electrical box. Now I just need to attach the base plate onto the electrical box, and then we can be ready to start snapping on the exterior pieces. And there are arrows on the plate to show you exactly which way is up to make sure that the drain holes are on the bottom. Now we can put on the cover plate, and it just goes on with 4 screws right into the bracket. You'll want to seal around the top of the cover plate to make sure that no water gets in there. Use some silicone caulking to do that. Now I can use this S-hook and put it on the light and hold it in place while I connect the hot and the neutral leads to the rest of the power. We can tuck the electrical lines back in and then snap on the camera body to the bracket. It might be a little bit hard to get the wires in there, but once you get them tucked in, then you can just snap it into place. We can secure it in place with a little screw on the bottom to make sure that it doesn't move around. We can adjust and position the lights later. I'm going to go ahead and turn the power back on, and then we'll see what it's looking like, and then we can adjust if we need to. All right, I flipped on the power, and you'll know that you did it right if the lights come on. They'll stay on for 30 seconds. That lets you know that you wired it up correctly. Now we'll go through the rest of the app setup and see how everything looks. Now, just like before, I can use the Google Home app to adjust this. So I'm going to look up here. Hey, how's you doing? And it looks pretty good. I'm going to adjust that just down a little bit so we can get the full garage. We'll put it right there. So now in the Google Home app, I can go in and look at the camera. I can also turn the light on. So if I want to turn it on from the app, I can just hit it and it will come on, and I can even adjust brightness. So when you're looking at what kind of camera to get, if you want one with lights, this Nest Cam floodlight is the one that you're going to want because it has those nice LEDs. You can adjust them wherever and put the brightness to where you want it to make sure that you can see what's going on outside of your home. Here's the final install of the Nest Cam with floodlight, and at nighttime those LEDs light it up so it is really bright on camera. Now that we have the front taken care of, let's turn our attention to the dogs. Now the dogs are mainly indoor dogs, but they also have a fenced-in backyard where they go out and play and do their business. So we want to make sure we have coverage outside as well as inside, and we have 2 other options in the Nest camera lineup that we can check out. We have the indoor wired camera, which is going to be perfect for indoors. We can plug it in and move it around to get the best fit. And we also have the indoor-outdoor battery cam. Now this one could be mounted anywhere because it does run off batteries. Let's head outside and see what our mounting options are for the outdoor cam. I'm on the back deck, and here is the door where the dogs are let out to come out and play in the backyard. So they have a nice fenced-in backyard back here, and I want to get coverage over most of that. So we're going to mount it somewhere up here above the door. Now this is a battery-powered camera, but we want to have it be fully powered so we don't have to bring it back in and charge it. We do have an outlet right down there that we can plug into and route the wires around. So when we jump back inside, I'll show you exactly what that indoor-outdoor cam looks like, and then we'll come out here and get it installed. This one's going to be a lot easier because it is plug and play. All right, let's open up the indoor-outdoor cam. So we just got the camera here and then the magnetic mounting plate. You can just pop it off and bring it in and charge it, or it has the power adapter on the bottom, and that's how we're gonna do it, is we're actually gonna wire it up outside. It does come with a power brick and a 3-foot charging cable, and that's for charging up the Nest Cam battery. But if you want to have a constant power install, indoor or outdoors, you're going to need an additional accessory. This is the Nest Cam weatherproof cable. This version is 16 feet. They also have a 32-foot variety that you can check out as well. This will go straight into the outlet, and then we have the magnetic power adapter here on the other end. Now this does have all the great intelligent alert features, and you get 3 hours of event history just like the other ones as well. Let's go ahead and head outside and get this thing wired up. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and power this up. We'll plug it into the outlet out here just to make sure everything works. I'm just going to go into the Google Home app like I did before and scan the QR code to get this added in. With a few clicks, we've got it in here, and now I'm going to jump up on the ladder and start positioning it and look at my phone to see what the coverage is. All right, let's see what this view is going to look like up here. All right, so we had it right above the door. That's actually a really good view. It's really nice that it has this adjustable feature on it with the magnetic base. We've got most of the deck and the yard. If we move it over here. So just look around until you get the view that you want, and then you can mark the spot and start installing the bracket. If you're going to be mounting the bracket to siding like I am here, you want to look underneath there. It could be siding straight over a wooden exterior, or it could be siding with insulation and then plywood exterior sheathing. So I can actually just pop off this little short piece right here and look underneath. You can see that pink insulation siding right there. So I know that I have a gap before I'm going to hit anything that can have structure to it that the screw can go into. So I'm going to need to use longer screws than what was included in the kit. And there's just one little mounting bracket that goes up here. I can mark the position and then drill it in place and secure the camera. Now I can run all the wiring through here, and I'm just gonna hide it right here in between the trim and run it around the door and then up to the camera. I'm gonna see how much excess cable there's gonna be and then figure out the best place to hide it, whether it's gonna be near the camera or down here near the outlet. I can just tuck it in the trim right here and go around the top and do the same thing, and you won't even see the wires. Now in this section right here, I'm gonna double back down there and then come back up so that I can have all the excess hidden in there. I don't have to have any loops exposed over by the outlet box. Now I can plug the camera back in and put it on the mount. That looks good. The extension cable does come with some little mounting clips. I'm just gonna put it under the vinyl siding with a little bit of silicone. That way I won't have to put any more holes in the siding than necessary. It's probably a good idea also to get a locking cover so that somebody can't just come up and unplug this. So I'll be going over to Home Depot and grabbing one of those and installing them, and they could put a small padlock on it so that they can access it when needed, but it'll keep people out. Here's the final install of the indoor-outdoor cam. And that nighttime footage looks great. We can see those dogs running out to get their business done. All right, this last one is gonna be the easiest to install. This is the Nest Indoor Wired Cam. And this little guy just has a nice base and a long cord that you can plug in to a USB wall outlet. You can hook that up and we can put this anywhere that we want to. And this is what's gonna keep an eye on the Peanut Butter Bandit. This is the room where the dogs spend most of their time, and they're looking quite innocent right now. But it also opens up into the kitchen. So I'm gonna try a few different locations and see which one gets the best coverage. Now on a side note, Tippy is crate trained, so she's been kept in a crate while they're away ever since the peanut butter accident. But it will be nice to be able to have the camera down here so they can leave her out of the crate if they're just out in the yard doing things, and they can check in on the phone to make sure she's not having a snack. Look at you looking all innocent over here. This one, she will steal your heart and then steal your peanut butter, won't you? I'm gonna start over in this corner of the room and plug it in and see how it looks from down low as well as up high on the mantle. I am just gonna use the base here and set it on things, but it also has a wall mount that you can use, and there is installation hardware included. And along with a swivel head, you can get the coverage that you need anywhere you want. I'm gonna plug it into the wall, and then we can connect with it via the Google Home app. And I can scan the QR code and add it just like we did the other ones and get it all set up on the Nest network. All right, we've got it set up, and I'm going to put this over here, and we can hide the cords later and get it positioned. Let's see what kind of view we have. That's not bad. We can definitely see the dogs taking naps on the couches over here, but I think it might be better for a little bit of higher view. Also, the white kind of sticks out on top of this. They do come in different colors to match your decor and blend in. Since we have white, probably makes sense to have it on something that's white. All right, up here on the TV mantle, now we can get a nice aerial view. I can still get the dogs over here on the couch. Let me tilt this down just a little bit. Yeah, I think that might be it. Now this gives us a nice view of the entire family room and into the kitchen. And that's the nice thing about the plug and play nature of this, is you can move it anywhere you want at any time you want and still get those intelligent alerts that are gonna tell you whether it's a pet or a person that's moving around in the house. Now, since this is a wired cam, you're gonna have to hide these wires somewhere, and on the back of this mantle would be a great place to do it. They do have a little mounting cable clip, and you can use other things to attach those, but I'm not gonna put the mounting clips on there right now because I'm gonna let Holly move this around and see exactly where she wants it in her house, and then she can secure it and hide the wires as she sees fit. The indoor wired cam blends in nicely to its surroundings, and you can still make everything out in the night recording mode. Now we've got all 4 cameras set up, and you can manage all of them there in the Google Home app, and they'll come up, and we've got the backyard, the family room, the front door, and the garage. And with these, you can get all those intelligent alerts and the 3 hours of history for free, like I mentioned. But you can also get the Nest Aware or Nest Aware Plus, and those are gonna give you additional features, which is gonna include on the Nest Aware 30 days of recording that you can go back on the history. Now on the Nest Aware Plus, that goes up to 60 days recording, but also you get 24/7 live recording, so you can go back even if there's not an alert and see what's been happening at any camera that you have. So looking through here, it's really great to be able to just connect into the backyard. I can go into the history, see the intelligent alerts that there was a person there. I can go into the family room, looking at what's going on in there and my history. Again, seeing the person versus the pets and deliveries on the front door. The whole system is set up great, and I'm really impressed with the Google Home app because I've used other ones before, and this one has way better alerts and systems, and just the whole functionality seems to be much better than the ones I've used in the past. I think this is gonna be a great addition for my sister, and now Tippy is gonna be on a short leash, digitally. All right, just gonna make a little peanut butter sandwich before I go. Yes, where'd I put my drink?
Tippy!
If you want to check out some more of my home DIY projects, I've got a playlist queued up for you right there. I think that you'll enjoy. I want to give a big thank you to those folks that have been joining the FTBT Builders Club. And until next time, guys, get out there and build something awesome.
Here, just a